This is my home, the place where I've spent my entire life. These deserts can tell my story, and that was the inspiration for my second project, and I'm calling it the Sands of Time. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everyone's staying strong. Back in the college days, I wanted to make something that had Arduino on it. So I took that idea to my tutors, but they threw it right back at my face. No, literally. As I mentioned in the last video, I was 3 days late to start this project. So for the second project, the requirements were to use electronics and the theme was art. And Mark also suggested to use Arduino if possible. The first thing that came to my mind was this water clock, so I thought of making a small model of it, but there is a problem. I have to do it in just 10 short days. So tinkering with electronics and water at this stage is like playing with fire. Then I went for different ideas, but I'm not saying it here cause it's pretty boring. Let's jump into the final idea. I decided to make a Sisyphus table. You might know Sisyphus from Greek mythology, where he got punished for a cheating death. Basically, he rolls a giant rock up the hill and rolls it down and continues that forever. And our table is similar to that, where it draws a design and erases it and continues that forever. I know making this alone is difficult, but that's not an original, right? So I decided to include a clock into the design. You know, sand, clock, my story. You get the idea, right? Sand telling my story in time. Sands of time? No? Okay, whatever. So I went to Voltat, my go-to shop for electronics and stuff. This time, I visited them to get some help. So there's this dude Yahya who is very helpful. He always suggests ideas and is ready to help. So when I presented this idea, he was very excited and told me to use this 3D printer as a reference. So with big ideas in my head, I returned home, but the thing is, I don't know how to use the Arduino. So I started to take baby steps. At first, I learned to control the LED on the Arduino board. Next, I was able to work with an actual LED bulb. Then I learned to turn a servo motor. After that, I used a light sensor to control the LED bulb. Finally, after learning the basics, I was able to control 2 servo motors with a joystick. I was pretty happy that this was a success, because even if I couldn't make a sand clock, I can use this technique to make a model. So the backup is now ready, and the real magic begins now. When I enter upload on the computer, the motor alternates in each direction with a time interval of 1 second. After that, I started to build the main structure with some modem frames, sticks, and couple of motors. Then I connected it to the Arduino, modified the magic code, connected the entire system to my computer, and ran the program. It was a stretch, but I was hoping for the system to work perfectly on the first trial, but it didn't. One of the motor wasn't rotating freely. It was a quick fix. The motor was rubbing against the frame, so I chopped off some wood. Then I improved the model by adding belt and pulley. Before running the magic code, I gave it a try on the joystick. Okay, the belt needs tightening. Now let's try the code.
And enter. Hopefully this works this time.
It's kinda slow. So let's ramp up the speed.
Enter. Woo! Oh.
Something happened in the meantime. I will explain it briefly. There's this thing called G-code. Basically how it works is when I upload an image, a software converts it into a string of codes, which is the G-code. So when I upload the G-code onto the Arduino, my motor will know how to draw the image on any given surface. But the problem is, my motor cannot recognize this G-code. I spent 3 days figuring out this, but I couldn't find any help, so I decided to make my own code. Step by step, I made progress. First, I learned to move it within a straight line. Then I was able to make a square. Finally, I could draw different shapes and the same in reverse direction. After lots and lots of trials, I was very confident, so I set the model for the final showdown. Before that, I gave it a final trial run. For this project, I've selected glass powder as the sand. Next, I placed magnet on top of the sand. After that, I held my breath and ran the code. At first I got tensed when it was not moving, but then it started to move. At that moment I got goosebumps all over me and was speechless. It was great to see it in action after all those hours that I've put on it. And yeah, I was not able to create a clock out of it, but that's okay, I'll do it sometime in the future. Speaking about future, my next project really gets into my sister's nerve. do subscribe so that you don't miss that. And also give a thumbs up and leave a comment if you like this video. Consider sharing it with your friends and families. And for regular content, I need your help. Send me your stories so that I can feature them in my channel and ship the drawing to your address for free. So guys, enjoy the videos. Bye, peace, love and take care. This back in the college days, I wanted to make something that had blah 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 blah. The first thing that came, babshi shupa. Then I went through, woo. Oh man, but that's not an blush. This time, I visited them to. Oh man, he's all, bum bum bum, and told me to use this and and told me to use this 3D printer and told me to use this 3D printer. Oh man, ugh, 3D printer and told me to use this 3D oh, I was pretty happy that this was a bashaha, you know, but it didn't. What? Before running the magic code, I gave another a bash. Now let's. Whew. After lots and lots of trials, I was very confident, so I set up the model for the final showdown.